Stress primarily comes from not taking action over something that you can have some control over. So if I find that some particular thing is causing me to have stress, that's a warning flag for me. What it means is there's something that I haven't completely identified, perhaps in my conscious mind, that is bothering me, and I haven't yet taken any action on it. I find as soon as I identify it and make the first phone call or send off the first email message or whatever it is that we're going to do to start to address that situation, even if it's not solved, the mere fact that we're addressing it dramatically reduces any stress that might come from it. So stress comes from ignoring.
Imagine a man who risked everything, not for certainty, not for comfort, but for a dream. A man who left behind a secure job on Wall Street to chase an idea that most people laughed at. A man who believed that books, of all things, could change the internet forever. That man is Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon. His story is not just about wealth or power, it's about vision, risk, failure, resilience, and an unshakable obsession with the future. This is not just the story of a company. This is the story of a mindset. The mindset that built one of the most powerful empires in history, and the mindset that every young dreamer in America can learn from. Jeffrey Preston Bezos was born on January 12, 1964, in Albuquerque, New Mexico. His mother, Jacqueline, was just a teenager when he was born. His biological father left early, and Jeff was adopted by Miguel Bezos, a Cuban immigrant who worked his way up as an engineer. Even as a child, Jeff showed unusual curiosity. He built contraptions in his garage, dismantled gadgets, and turned his home into a mini laboratory. His grandfather, Lawrence Gies, was a huge influence, teaching Jeff the importance of self-reliance and problem-solving on his Texas ranch. By high school, Jeff had already displayed his love for science and technology. He was valedictorian, delivering a graduation speech about humanity colonizing space, a vision he still carries today. At Princeton University, Jeff studied electrical engineering and computer science. He was brilliant, but also restless, always searching for ways to apply big ideas to real-world challenges. After graduating in 1986, Bezos entered the world of finance. He worked at several firms, eventually landing at D.E. Shaw and Company, a prestigious hedge fund in New York. There, he quickly rose to become a senior vice president at just 30 years old. Bezos was on track for a life of wealth and comfort. Wall Street respected him. He had a great salary, a secure career, and influence in one of the world's most powerful industries. But comfort, for Jeff Bezos, was never the goal. One day, while researching trends on the internet, Bezos stumbled upon a statistic. Internet usage was growing by 2,300% per year. That number shook him. He realized that this technology was going to reshape the world, and he wanted to be part of it. Bezos asked himself, what's the best way to use the internet for business? He made a list of products that could be sold online: music, software, clothing, and then books. Books were perfect. Millions of titles existed, far more than any physical bookstore could ever hold. The internet could become the world's largest bookstore. But turning that vision into reality meant giving up his comfortable life. Bezos faced the most important decision of his career. He described it later as using a regret minimization framework. He asked himself, when I'm 80 years old, will I regret not trying this? The answer was clear. He quit his high-paying job, packed his belongings, and with his wife Mackenzie driving, moved to Seattle to start building his dream. In 1994, Bezos founded Cadabra Inc., later renamed Amazon after the world's largest river. The name symbolized his ambition to build something vast, unstoppable, and world-changing. The company began in a garage, with desks made from cheap doors and software written on outdated computers. Bezos invested his own money, borrowed from family, and convinced a handful of employees to join his vision. When Amazon launched in July 1995, it was an online bookstore with a simple promise: Earth's biggest bookstore. Orders started trickling in, first from friends, then from strangers across the country. Within a month, Amazon was selling books in all 50 states and 45 countries. But success didn't come easy. The team packed books themselves, drove orders to the post office, and struggled with a website that constantly crashed. Bezos was relentless. He worked long hours, demanded high standards, and insisted on customer obsession above everything else. His mantra was simple: it's always day one. Despite its early success, Amazon was burning through cash. Investors doubted the business model. Competitors laughed at the idea of an online bookstore. In 1997, Amazon went public, raising millions, but also raising scrutiny. Analysts predicted it would collapse. They called it Amazon bomb. The dot-com bubble of the early 2000s nearly destroyed Amazon. Countless internet companies went bankrupt. Amazon's stock fell by more than 90%. Bezos faced enormous pressure to cut costs, abandon his vision, and focus on short-term profits. But he refused. He wrote in his annual shareholder letter, "It's all about the long term." Amazon survived barely, and that survival set the stage for one of the greatest corporate transformations in history. Bezos knew that to survive, Amazon had to expand. First, Amazon became more than a bookstore. It started selling electronics, toys, clothing, and more. Then came two bold innovations. Amazon Marketplace, launched in 2000, allowed third-party sellers to use the platform. Critics said Bezos was crazy. Why would he let competitors sell on his own site? But it exploded growth. Then, in 2006, came Amazon Web Services, cloud computing services that powered other businesses. This became one of Amazon's most profitable divisions. Then came the Kindle in 2007, revolutionizing how people read. Later, Amazon Prime, offering fast shipping and streaming, turned customers into loyal members. Each risk was mocked at first. Each risk later defined the future of the internet. Bezos was not immune to failure. The Amazon Fire Phone flopped. Expensive experiments like auctions and restaurants failed. Bezos faced criticism for harsh workplace culture and treatment of small sellers. But for Bezos, failure was part of the process. He once said, "If you're not failing, you're not innovating enough." Those failures didn't break Amazon. They fueled its evolution. By the 2010s, Amazon had transformed from an online bookstore into the most powerful e-commerce and technology company in the world. It became a trillion-dollar empire, one of only a handful of companies in history to achieve that milestone. Amazon reshaped industries: retail, publishing, entertainment, logistics, cloud computing. It became a household name in every corner of America and beyond. And at the center of it all was Bezos, driven by his philosophy of customer obsession, innovation, and relentless long-term thinking. Bezos never forgot his childhood dream of space exploration. In 2000, he founded Blue Origin, a private space company. Its motto, Gradatim Ferociter, step by step, ferociously. While Amazon conquered Earth, Blue Origin aimed at the stars. Bezos invested billions, envisioning a future where millions of people live and work in space. He also purchased the Washington Post in 2013, reviving the struggling newspaper and transforming it into a digital powerhouse. Philanthropy, too, became part of his legacy, though often overshadowed by his business empire. At the core of Bezos' story lies a philosophy every young dreamer can learn from. Always put people first. Ignore short-term noise. Build for the future. Risk is the price of innovation. Success demands discipline and sacrifice. Never get comfortable. Always act like a startup. Jeff Bezos is not just the story of a man who built a trillion-dollar company. He is the story of a mindset that dares to dream big, to risk failure, to bet on the future when others laugh at you. You don't need certainty, you need courage. You don't need approval, you need vision. And above all, you need the grit to keep going when the world doubts you. One man, one garage, one dream. That's how Amazon began. The question is, what will you begin today?